How to set goals in 2020 and actually achieve them. This is the topic of today's video, and today I want to break down my year planning template step by step so you know exactly what to do to come up with the bigger picture, come up with your most important goals and break them down into small action steps. The year planning template is something that I have created 3 years ago and have been using every single year since, and it has helped me tremendously to come up with the big picture of where I want to go in life, come up with the most compelling, most important goals for 2020, 19, and 18, and break them down into small action steps so I don't get overwhelmed and have a true battle plan of how I can achieve my goals. If you want to download the year planning template, you can do so by clicking the link in the description down below. Hi my friend, my name is Robert Hurd and I want to welcome you to Your Best Self, the YouTube channel that helps you become the best possible version of yourself, one video at a time. If you're completely new to this channel, consider subscribing if you're into personal development and becoming the best possible version of yourself. Most likely, you know why you should be setting goals. But if thyself does not know why you shall be setting goals and the importance of the act of goal setting, you shall click right there, where I'm telling you 6 reasons why you shall do so. Alright, I have no idea why I've been just talking like that. However, let's get into the year planning template and how I am planning my year. I'm going to be breaking it down step by step so you know exactly what to do once you have downloaded the year planning template. So step number 1, print it out. Yes, there's going to be a lot of writing involved. It's going to take you between 20 minutes to maybe up to 2 hours depending on how serious you are with setting your goals and how much imagination and time you want to put into this thing. But the first thing that you're going to do is print it out, put it in front of you, get some pen or a pencil, whatever you prefer writing with, and then we're gonna get to work. But the first thing we're gonna do is not write, but actually close our eyes, breathe, and imagine our perfect day in 5 years from now. I love this exercise because this is the time where you can dream a little. This is the time where you can truly imagine what it will feel like to have the perfect day in 5 years from now. When are you gonna be waking up? What are you going to do next? Who are you going to be waking up with? Are you going to be waking up at 6 a.m. and the first thing that you're going to be doing is take a walk with your dog? Or maybe you're going to get some coffee, read a book, meditate, work out, just go for a run, cuddle with your spouse. Whatever it is, really think about how does your perfect day start. Maybe you even know where you want to wake up. Is it going to be at a beach house in Bali and the first thing that you want to do is go for a surf? That would be amazing. But then think about what is it that you're going to be doing for the whole day? Are you going to be working on a project? Do you have an office? Do you have a business? Do you have a job? Do you work with monkeys? Do you work with elephants? Do you work with people? Whatever it is, what is the perfect dream work that you're going to be doing throughout the day? Or maybe you don't want to work at all. Maybe you have so much money, set aside and invested that the money is working for you and you can just enjoy the day by itself. Really try to feel how it's going to make you feel if you would be living that kind of life. Really think about who you are spending your time with. Maybe by that time you have a family or even more kids than you have right now. Maybe you're going to be spending time with your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever it is. Just think about who you're spending your time with and how you're spending the time and how it's going to make you feel spending the time in that kind of way. Maybe you're going to meet up with friends. Maybe you're going to give a conference. Maybe you're going to meet up with inspiring people. Whatever that is going to be, think about it. Really give yourself the permission to dream a little here. Because even if it seems a little bit unrealistic to go from where you are right now to living your perfect day in 5 years, it can still happen. Because if you truly dedicate yourself to the cause and commit to do whatever is necessary to get to where you want to be, you can still do that. And now you have the ability to reverse engineer to what you need to do in order to get to where you want to be. Because now you have a bigger picture in mind. This is not just a couple goals that you want to do in 2020, but now you have a roadmap to where you want to go ultimately. And you can start in 2020 with the first couple of goals, which are going to help you to get to your perfect day in 5 years. Gotcha? Really be free here. Nobody is going to see it. This is just for you. Give yourself the permission to dream a little. The next thing that we're going to be doing is to declutter your mind. Now, this is the time where you need to think about all the ideas, all the projects, all the things that you want to be doing throughout your time. This is not specific for 2020, but more of what do I want to achieve in my life? Do I want to write a book? Do I want to travel the world? Do I want to give a public speech? Whatever it is, write that down. Really declutter your mind, because most of the time we have so much going on in our head. We have so many projects, so many ideas that we want to, get into, but there's just not enough time to do everything. So really write down everything that you might want to do in your life. Once you've done that, you're going to circle everything that you really want to do in 2020. Things that are important to us, things that are meaningful to us, things that will actually get us to where we want to go. So once you have circled all the things that you want to do in 2020, the third step is to cross out all the things that are not really meaningful. I mean, they are fun to do, but they are not going to help us to get to where we want to be. There's a little story that I would like to share with you, and that is of a man's dog that is sitting by the side of the road and is chasing every single car that is coming by. So he's just sitting there waiting for a car, and once the car is driving by, he goes crazy, he's barking and is just chasing the car, trying to overtake it. So one day, the neighbor has watched the scene and was just smiling and came up to the owner of the dog and asked him, "Do you think your dog is ever going to catch a car?" And the owner replied, "This is not important. The most important question is, what happens if he actually catches the car?" You see, a lot of people pursue meaningless goals, just like the dog. I mean, yes, he has fun doing it, and maybe he's getting a little bit of exercise in, but what actually happens if he is able to chase the car and overtake it? So then he's just standing next to the car, and now what? Now he's just going to pursue it and, chase the next car. Maybe it's fun, but it is getting you nowhere. So really think about, what are the things that are actually meaningful to me? What are the things that are actually going to move me forward to living my dream life? So cross all the things out that are not meaningful, and now you're left with a couple of circled things that you can do that will actually move you forward to where you want to go. Next step is to define your 5 most important major goals. Now you can actually prioritize them by numbers, 1 being the most important and 5 the least important, and really define your goals in a whole sentence and be very, very specific. If you want, you can use the principle of SMART goals. S standing for specific, M for measurable, A for attainable, achievable, or ambitious, R for relatable, and T for timeable. So your goal needs to be very specific. Don't be just very broad and say, "I want to gain more subscribers for my YouTube channel." That is not really specific, because you don't have a real number. You don't know how much is more subscribers for your YouTube channel. It's not timeable. You don't know by when do you want to gain more subscribers for your YouTube channel. So another example here, which is like one of my goals, is to gain 10,000 subscribers for my new YouTube channel by the end of 2020. That kind of goal is very specific. I know I want to gain 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2020, which is also timeable. It is definitely ambitious, but also achievable, because I know other people have achieved it before and I know I can do the same. And it's also measurable, right? Because I can measure it, I can see my progress every single day. And it's also relatable. Relatable means it is important to me. It actually moves me forward to where I want to be in life. So this is the principle of the SMART goals. If you want, you can follow this, but just make sure to be very specific of what you want to achieve and break it down or define it into a single sentence. So once you have defined your 5 biggest goals that you want to attain in 2020, it is time to break them down into small action steps. So on the next few pages, you have 1 page for each goal, and you'll be able to break it down into up to 10 steps. Now, why we want to do that is because one huge goal in itself can seem so incredibly intimidating, and this is usually the cause of procrastination. Because looking at this goal, it seems so hard and so unattainable that usually we are just afraid to get started because, it's so intimidating to get started, because this gap of where we are right now and where we want to get to is so insanely huge. So we just don't get started in the first place because it's just so intimidating and we're like, I don't want to do that. So this is why we need to break it down into small baby steps, things that can get the ball rolling, things that are easy to start with, and then once you attain them, you step by step going to get closer to your ultimate goal. The psychology behind that is if you are able to attain and achieve one of those few baby steps, you're going to feel empowered, you're going to feel confident, you're going to have momentum going, and you're going to feel energized to keep this momentum going. And then you will notice that you're going to keep working on the next baby step and the next baby step and the next baby step until you get to your ultimate goal. This is what you need to do next. Break your huge goal down into small little action steps. Think about what's the first step that I can take right now in order to achieve my ultimate goal, and try to make it as easy as possible for you to achieve this little baby step. It might be reach out to somebody that can help me attain this goal. This is a goal that, is very attainable. And once you have done that, go work towards your next baby step and the next one and the next one. And you will notice that one by one, you get to work through those baby steps and you climb this ladder of success until you get to reach your ultimate goal in the end. So once you have broken down the huge goal into small action steps, it is time to set a deadline of when you want to achieve that goal. Now, deadlines are very, very important as well, because if we do not have a deadline, we just push this thing in front of us all the time. Now, the problem with deadlines is that usually we set a deadline that is like not the real deadline, or maybe there is no real deadline because we can choose of when we want to finish that goal. However, it is still important to set yourself a guideline of when you want to be reaching that goal. So do that, and obviously if you're not able to finish that goal or reach that goal by the end of the deadline, just set a new deadline, which is, a few weeks later. But still set a deadline so you just have a little bit of perspective of when you need to be working on that goal in order to achieve it by your deadline. Next thing, something that I've been talking in the last video as well, is really think about the reason why it is important to you to achieve that goal. Because sometimes we, think about all those goals, but we never think about why it is important to us to achieve that goal. So really think about the reasons why, because there's going to be tough times throughout the year where you're going to be struggling and you're going to be feeling down and you feel like quitting. But those reasons why, and looking at those reasons why, are going to give you the strength to keep on moving forward. They're going to give you the strength to really see the bigger picture, see the end result. This reason why is an important step right here. So really think about what is going to drive you in those hard times and going to keep on pushing you forward. And once you have done that, you're going to make yourself a commitment. You're going to sign the paper, you're going to sign the goal of that your name is going to give the absolute best to achieve that goal. And then you're going to sign it with your name and sign it with a date of when you have filled out this paper. And this is what you're going to be doing for the next 5 pages for all your 5 goals. So once you have done that for the first one, move to the second goal, take the big goal, write it on top of the paper, and then break it down into small action steps again. Write down when you want to achieve that goal, why it is important to you to achieve that goal, sign the paper, make the commitment to yourself to give the absolute best to reach that goal by the deadline, and then move on to the next one, and to the next one, and to the next one. And then you are pretty much done. And then the last step that I usually do as well is habits and resolutions. Just things that you need to change, things that you need to do, things that, you might have been doing previously, like eating a lot of unhealthy food, a lot of fast food, going to bed way too late, smoking way too much, playing too many video games, all those things that you have been doing. Really write down the habits that you need to change in order to get to where you want to be. Because habits are incredibly important. Those are the things that we do over and over again. And once we can change our habits for the better, then we can change, the actions that we take on a day-to-day basis in order to get to where we want to go. I'm going to be doing quite a lot of videos about habits in the future as well. So if that is something that is interesting to you, hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. So once you have written down all your habits, all the resolutions, congratulations, because you are done. Now you have the big picture of where you want to go in life. What does your perfect day look like? You have the bigger picture of your biggest goals that you want to attain and achieve in 2020, and you have broken them down down into small little action steps, which are attainable. And with each baby step that you're going to be taking and achieving, you're going to feel the momentum, you're going to feel energized, you're going to feel confident and empowered to keep on going. Because how our brain works is that we usually want to finish what we started. So if you started the first goal with a couple of action steps and you are feeling this momentum going, we usually want to finish that goal and just feel the pride of actually achieving that big goal that we have set out for us to achieve. And obviously, if you are done with all the planning, don't just put the papers somewhere where you're never going to see them anymore, but actually put them somewhere where you can review them every single day or every other day. Maybe even hang them on a wall if you want to. But you need to take a look at them and see the progress that you are making and actually put a check mark on everything that you have been able to successfully finish of the action steps. Because I promise you, once you do that, you're gonna just feel so much more empowered and energetic to keep on going, working on your goals. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments down below, and also let me know in the comments what are some of your goals that you want to achieve in 2020. I would be super excited to see those. And obviously, if you haven't downloaded the year planning template yet, go ahead and click the link in the description down below. Let me know where to send it to, and then download it, print it out, and get to work. I promise you this is going to help you a lot with getting some clarity and some perspective and a roadmap to 2020 and making it a success. So with that said, I hope you're going to take the commitment to become your best self. My name is Robert, signing off.